And welcome to We Run It. We're up to Division 2 for the last round this week, Hosey. How fast has this season gone so far? It's just flown by.
Hasn't it?
So we've seen the Division 3 to 7, so they're all some are on Mad Monday, some are firing up for the finals, so it's a big few weeks ahead of us at the moment. So
round 18 for Division 2 and a big one especially for 3 clubs fighting out for relegation.
It is. We do come to that later, so it's going to be very close that last few weeks, or this week actually, so maybe till 5 o'clock this Saturday before we find out who's going to get relegated, because it's between 3 clubs, as you said, Broadview, Scotch and Pembroke. So,
and all close in percentage.
And that's where we're heading this week was the two of the bottom sides at the moment, Pembroke and Scotch. So Scotch got the bickies on this one just by the 8 points, so it's 13-10-88 to 11-14-80. So perhaps disappointing kicking by the 14 points there to Pembroke, which could have got them over the line with just a couple more scoring shots. But as I said, that's football. Wasn't to be, but again, Scotch, well done. That gives them that extra chance to avoid that relegation.
Yeah, and I know if I was Broadview, they would have been wanting Scotch to win because Pembroke had an ascendancy in percentage.
Yeah.
So with who they're all going to play top sides this week, Broadview certainly would have wanted Scotch to win, and they got it. So well done.
We're in the Scotch, so we've got goal scorers, McCann with 4, Thorpe with 3, King with 2, also with Madden with 2, with Nikoloff and Campbell individuals goal scorers there, with Cole, Codling, Madden, Boderick, Thorpe, Langley and O'Loughlin is amongst the best players. And for Pembroke?
Pembroke, Davey kicked 3, Fowl, Azon kicked 2, Allen, the captain, the coach, kicked 1, LJ Connors, the superstar for him, kicked 1, Williams, Marani, Kerner and Holbrook all with singles. Better players, Davey, Falzon, Fisher, Marani and Collins.
We didn't see Evans in amongst the Pembroke anywhere there, so goal scorers or anywhere, so not sure if he wasn't playing or it just seems...
Don't know.
He's usually always in amongst at least kicks 1 or 2 goals, so if he wasn't playing that probably put a bit of a stain on Pembroke to get that last win, or one of the last wins of the year, so but anyway, it wasn't to be. Now we head up to Foss Camden, so they took on Old Iggy, so I thought this may be closer than it actually was, but Old Foss Camden, they're obviously in the finals, they're doing very well, so they obviously beat Old Iggy's by a bit, 16-13-109, defeated Old Iggy's 11-7-73, so no surprise, but perhaps a bit of a large margin. There's Old Iggy's, they had a fair year, even though they won't make the finals.
Old Iggy's, I was talking to one of their players, we interviewed him earlier today, and they led by at 3/4 time by a few goals and then got overrun in the last quarter. Foss kicked 8 goals to 1 in the final quarter to run away with the game. So they were in it, Old Iggy's, right up to 3/4 time, but Foss had that dominant last quarter. It was the only thing that won them the game, really.
But with Foss Camden, gee whiz, I think they got most of half their side to kick a few goals. Got Jacker with 2, James with 2, Ramsey with 2, Cumming with 2, Underwood with 2, Grant, May, Rawalt, Grady, Young and Bayliss, all of the individuals, so big spread around there for their 16 goals. With Bergsma, Rawalt, Reevely and Inglis and Young in amongst the best players.
Yeah, and for Old Iggy's, Christopherson kicked 3, Paddy Conley kicked 3, Reynolds kicked 2, their captain Will Abbott kicked 1, Murdoch kicked 1 and Karen kicked a single. Better players, Christopherson, their captain Abbott, Patrick Connolly, Shaw and Reynolds. So a good win to Foss. Good win to Foss.
And Henry Sharks, they showed their might still. They took on Sacred Heart, who are sitting 5th at the moment. So a couple of sides that most likely could be in the finals, unless something drastically happens to Sacred Heart this week. But Henley was 11-8-74, defeated Sacred Heart 8-10-58. So again, probably a bit off kicking by Sacred Heart. Could have been a little bit closer in there, but it wasn't to be. So, but Henley, they've been the might. So again, goal kickers, Longman with 3. Holland with 2, Curry with 2, Swartz, Rudley and Lane. Yeah. And best players, Geddes, Davern, Gordison, Broadbent, Highland and Longman. And for Sacred Heart, Luke?
Yeah, Domenico kicked 2, Turton kicked 2, the leading goal kicker, Corsara, I don't think that's how you spell it, he kicked 2. Larber and Jordan kicked singles. Better players were Brooks, Forster, Peake, Flavel and tap. So world under the Sharks, and they just kept their winning ways.
They sort of were up all day, but I think they've probably shown their might. Probably just the 3 goals there, probably a little bit close for comfort. But again, we don't know. They may have rested a couple of players. I don't see a few.
Also, a lot of these sides that knew they were going to finish top, say North Haven, Henley, etc. Their coaches would have run them through second pre-seasons now, and they would just taper them. And you can do that when you're on the way in front. They've earned that right. So you see a lot of clubs doing the taper. I know Kilburn used to do that during the 90s, early part of the 2000s. A lot of tapering.
Then we head out to Gaza. They took on Unni Jets, so Unni Jets probably have a bit of a disappointing year. If they won that game against Gaza, which was all the opportunity they could have, they could have made just slightly had a slim chance of making the finals. They didn't. They're now 1 game out of the finals, which we'll come to in a minute. But it's a big win in the end. Gaza, they're just coming in with a good last half of the year actually. So Gaza was the 8-18-116 to Unni Jets 7-13-55. So a good win there by Gaza in the end. So they were sort of looking at 4th taking on 6 actually. So it's a bit of a good win there considering the two teams pretty close to on the ladder.
Yeah, for Gaza, goal kickers, Ryan Burns kicked 4, Kennedy kicked 3, young lad from North Adelaide and the Baraka. McCready, good player, kicked 3. Jones, who plays a bit at centre half back, so he might have had a bit of a run on the ball, played him forward, rolled him forward, he kicked 3. Benny Bioldi kicked 2, young Braden Lauder, son of the great man, the Rat, kicked 1. Chris Radetti kicked 1, and the big fella Brett Hines kicked a single. Better players were Mapstone, Chris Radetti's been a good touch all year. Beadle, who goes well in defence, most underrated at centre half back there, fullback. McCready, good player, and the pocket dynamo, and Adrian Stevens.
And for Unni Jets, got Heaslip with 2, then individuals to Munn, Holiday, Duval, Kubaz and Donald.
James Kubaz.
Yep, and best players are Westall, Moss, Heaslip, Duval and Crocker. So again, good win there to Gaza, who are just firing up for their finals campaign coming up.
Yeah, it was Henry Westall's 150th game too for only Mercedes, but they couldn't get the win at Clemsig Oval.
Head out for the last game of the round. We've got Athelston took on Broadview, so this was perhaps there wasn't any surprises here because Athelston they are sitting second, and we'll obviously Broadview, depending on what happens at 5 o'clock this Saturday, we don't know what's going to happen then, but percentages. So Athelston 17 goal 21, 123. Took on Broadview, won easily over Broadview, 7 goal 446. So no surprises there, and a massive win there at Athelston. So for Athelston, we've got Sykes with 6, Stewart with 3, Randall with 2, and Sullivan also with 2, and Elliott also with 2, with Bates and Sheedy just with the 1, and Owen caused Stewart a lot of Vicky, and Sykes in amongst the best players.
Yeah, for Broadview, Fergus kicked 3, Carter with 2, Ryan and Shepherd with singles. Better players, Baker, Papianu, Braden the Prince, Costello and Hodby. So a big win. Not unexpected out at Max Amber Sports Field to Athelston, so well done to the Raggies.
But this week's going to be very interesting in these games because obviously we could still possibly see Unni Jets get in.
Oh, I think they're out.
Probably they are. Well, there's 1 game out, but I think the percentage of 47 compared to Shock of 53 is going to keep us.
Yeah, they're not going to make up 6%.
But we want to see what's going to happen with Broadview. I don't think Broadview wanted to see this at all. So Broadview taking on Foss Camden. So I think Jacko's mob think things aren't looking too good at the moment when taking on the might of Foss Camden, who is sitting 3rd. I'm going for Foss Camden, but I think Jacko wants to get some sort of percentage, so they're on the percentage is very close.
Or if not, you're going to have to roll some players black to sit in behind the footy to do what, to hold the game up, slow it down, things like that.
So the percentages are going to be an issue for Broadview, Scotch and Pembroke because they're all on basically 38, 37 and 38, so it's so close there. So
I would have thought there's going to be a lot of sticking men in behind the footy to stop goals at the moment this week with a few of these sides.
Yep, I'm going for Foss Camden. Henley to take on Gazer. This is probably the match of the round, you'd think. Because Gazer, they've done very well the last half of the season. I still think Henley is too hard to beat for me. So,
I know Gav Lauder gives them a real good chance this week, but I think Henley by should win.
Yeah. Old Eagles are taking on Athelston, so Old Eagles, look, they can't make the finals at all. Taking on Athelston, who are sitting second, so I think Athelston should win this pretty comfortably, I would imagine.
Well, yeah, and if you have a look too, that Athelston, yeah, they could probably lose second spot if they got beaten, but they might even rest a couple up waiting for that for next week for their qualifying final.
Yep.
They'll more than likely play Foscamp at Max Amber.
Yep.
They probably won't take any risk with any players, I would have thought.
Then we head to Kingswood Oval, where again we're looking to see who Scotch are playing. Obviously they're playing Unny Jets, so Unny Jets are 6th. Can't make the finals. Scotch must win.
And pick up a little bit of percentage. Scotch have to pick up a little bit of percentage to catch. Now this is the one where probably Scotch, I know, only play that Oval well. Not playing well at the moment, only Mercedes. Can Scotch kick enough or restrict?
I'm going to go for an upset. I'm going for Scotch this week.
Yeah, there's something there that tells me someone's going to win, and I don't know who it's going to be.
There's been one upset somewhere around here. The one from Oregon. I don't think it'd be Broadview. I think it'd be Scotch, unless Foscamp and rest players. But why would you do that? Because they're sitting 3rd. So I think
Scotch had the upset last week over Pembroke. We all thought probably Pembroke would win. Pembroke aren't playing well enough, you wouldn't think, to beat Sacred Heart.
Yeah, that's right. So I reckon Scotch, if all 3 lose, it's going to be on percentage.
0.55%. I think the phones will be ringing hot around the grounds for percentage. Men's getting stuck in behind the footy. There are all sorts of games getting played this week, I would have
But if
thought.
all 3 lose, Pembroke will be relegated. It's between Broadview and Scotch on the percentage at 5 o'clock that
I think
night.
Pembroke are going to be relegated. It doesn't matter who goes with them, Broadview or Scotch.
That's right, so at 5 o'clock, so I can't see Pembroke being Sacred Heart, you never know. My upset is Scotch over Unny Jets.
Or not to get beaten by that much, because it's 0.55%. You will see all the screens coming up in front of us on the screen here tonight. But
I can do that.
it's going to go down to the wire.
Yeah, it certainly will be 5 o'clock.
So the coaching camps with Jacko and with Timmy Cobb, they'll be having the phones running amok. I would have thought that last quarter. Yeah, so a big end of the season now. I can't remember Broadview being in division outside of Division 1 or 2.
They've been in Division 1 for years and years. They were the might of Division 1 for a long time.
Yeah, I played against them in the 80s. In the 80s when they were in Division 1, and they weren't in Division 1 until they fell to Division 2 a few years back. And I can't remember them being in Division 3 for have to have been the 70s, I would have thought. It's been a long time. Playing for a lot.
We will see you next week with the results, especially, I suppose, the relegation, and of course who's going to be in the finals. We know, I think the final is fixed, but who's going to be playing each other in the finals the week after. So we'll see you next week.
See you next week.